All right, gang, all you'll need is your roller today, but we're just going to use it versus all the way through, just at the very, very end, just to roll her out. So have it, but have it just kind of off to the side. And we will start just a little free flow. So think of the whole abdominal basket just pulling up and knitting in. Widen out the legs a little bit, start a rocking back and forth. Maybe the shoulders can just go with that. So it's not really a releve. It's just sort of a gentle movement. And then go ahead and go the other direction. So it might start small, kind of looking like a gorilla. And then as you get bigger, go ahead and just sort of lift it up and bring it around. Yeah, there we go. Go one more time. And then release that through the back line. And we're just going to start a roll down. So I'm going to start at the top of my mat. I'm going to roll it all the way down to the floor. Hands on the shins or the quads. And just press those legs to straight. Look through your legs so that your head is dangling at the top. And then bend the knees and slowly come all the way up. If you want to stay facing the front, you can, you guys. Inhale, lift the heart high. Exhale, hands down, center heart. And then roll it down again. All the way to the floor, shins or quads, press those legs to straight. Just rock it back and forth here, just subtly, starting to get an awareness, hamstrings, glutes, headline is dangling. And then bend the knees, slowly drift all the way up. Nice big inhale as you come all the way up and around the corner. And then exhale, go down one more time. And as you reach to the floor this time, go ahead and bend the knees quite deep and bring your hands to your quads. So press into your quads with your hands a little bit. Find yourself in a neutral spine. Then go ahead and exhale, tuck your tailbone, and then inhale and lower the squat. Exhale and tuck, inhale and lower. And again, my hands are sliding behind my glutes so I can sort of use that to round a little deeper and then press the tush out. Go two more, little lift. And press down. And one more time, hollow out, little lift. And press down. And on this one, press all the way up. Lift the heart to the sky. Hands down, center heart. And I'm just going to reach out towards you. Spread out my fingers, pull my palms back. Lift the heart, look at one direction, stretch that out. And then exhale. Nice big massive heart hug as you protract your shoulders forward. Squat down. Go again, open the arms, pull them backwards, lift the heart, get a little extension there. And then opposite arm on top, exhale, bring it all the way down. Let the arms just dangle at the bottom and then lengthen out that spine again. Heel toe a little bit more open. We're in our neutral again. And we're just going to add little bobs to the quad. So we're in a squat now. And we're just going to reach the hands behind us actively, making sure those back muscles are turning on. Let's go 4, 3, 2. And then as you stand up, reach up and lift the heart. Open that. And then sweep it back again, bob it out, 5, 4, see how much reach with the arms you can get, 2, 1, bring it all the way up, lift the heart. Let's do it one more time, looking for extension in the shoulder and then bob, 5, 4, 3, 2, now stay here, sweep the arms forward, use them as a counterbalance, lift the heels a little bit, lower. So we haven't really warmed up those toes, so just be nice and subtle here. And lower, we're just trying to find that balance point, lift, and lower. Give me one last little lift and lower. Roll it down, hands to the floor, shins or quads. Let your head dangle at the top. Let that invert fully. Nice big breath here, you guys. And then breathe as you come all the way up to tall. Roll the shoulders. Find yourself at the end of the mat. We're going to reach it out and just do a little bit of flow here. So come all the way down to the hands and the knees. Walk it out in 4, 3. Knees are down on 2 and 1. Curl those toes and let's wake up those toes first. So we know we want to try not to sickle, right? So I'm just going to push back. As you push back, watch your ankles aren't going out to the side. So we're getting that big toe right underneath us. Get a good little stretch into that toe line and then come up to 4-point stance. So let's just go back and forth here. So I'm hinging in my hips. Hinging through the knees. If the knees are bothering you, you can put a pad underneath. If the wrists bother you, you can go up on a block or an ottoman. And then stay in the lift. Abs engaged. Let's go short plank 1, guys. So lift that inch off the floor hang out and hover, sneak your shoulders into your back pockets, and then zipper up the abdominals for 4, 3, 2. Let those knees go down, uncurl the toes, laterally rotate out the hips, sink your hips back as deep as you can, reach the arms really far forward, feeling that stretch through the lat line. And then some extra big inhales, exhales here, you guys. And then sit back on your heels, peel your vertebrae all the way up, roll those shoulders, and then bring those knees back into neutral. Find yourself in your 4-point stance. Let's do some sternum drops, dropping through the shoulder blades, pushing away. Spine is neutral, pelvis is neutral. On this one, stay pressed away. Find the curl of your toes, lift that inch again, and short plank 2 if it feels good. I'm going to lift one leg and lower it down. Alternate, lift the other leg and lower it down. So I'm just kicking my heel to the sky, keeping a 90-degree angle at my knee. The movement is from the hip. Now let's add, if you're okay with this, as I kick the sky, I'm going to straighten out my standing leg and then reach out the other leg. And then I'm going to come right back down, hovering the floor. We're doing it nice and slow. Other foot lifts. I stretch it out and then reach that kicking leg and bring it down, changing it just slightly. I'm going to press out and reach. And then I'm going to drive that leg forward. So whatever leg you picked, drive it forward. Yeah. Drop that knee down. And let's go ahead and rotate open on our chest. Nice and big here, you guys. Bring it back. Make sure your hands are strong. Push that leg all the way back. And now drive your other leg up to the sky. And then pull it all the way through. Drop the knee and open that up. Nice big breath here. Stretch that open. Bring the hand back to the floor. Push those hips back and paddle into your elephant or down dog. So just paddling out your feet, stretching out the toes, shoulders away from the ears. And let's go deeper into the calf line and hamstring line. If you can, drop the heels and then drop down into the shoulder. I hold the edges of my mat so I don't slip. This is super tight. I want the shoulder stretch to be happening. Lift the heels, bend the knees so you can get into the shoulders. Nice big breath here. And then pull straight forward. We're in a long plank now. Long plank. We're going to lower the knees, uncurl the toes, and let our belly drip down. So I'm just getting that little opener here. Now, if this is too aggressive on the back, you're coming right down and you're getting your little opener here. So if your back does not like the arms straight, I need you to go to your elbows. Wiggle lazy from left to right. Inhale, exhale. And then bring it back to center. And if you're not down, come on down. So let's find Sphinx. My arms are making 11s. My shoulders are going to pull into my back pockets, but on this one, I'm going to pull the abs in. So instead of kind of being lazy in the back, we're going to draw those abs in, sneak the shoulders down. If the vision invites, look straight forward to the wall. If that's too hard on your neck, tuck it in a bit. Now let's go ahead and increase that inhale, exhale. Hard place to find your breath, but really think of breathing in deep. Your glutes do not need to be turned on and clenched. The movement is through the abdominals, pulling up and in. So try to be mindful of relaxing your glutes. One more. We're just making sure those back extensors know we need their help today. Take your elbows out to the side and let's push our bodies back into that narrow child's pose this time. If your knees and hips will invite, keep narrow as you fold forward. It changes the dynamics of the hip bone position. Now, once you're here, fold your elbows in tight to your body versus reaching them. So I'm just folding them to the side and I'm trying to round my thoracic spine here. If that bothers my head, my neck, I can make 2 fists and rest my head on my hands like blockhead. Couple big breaths, and then come right back into that 4-point stance again. So from your 4-point, go a little farther forward with your hands, and then tuck the tailbone and bring it forward. So we're just going to go forward and backwards here. As you come forward, I want you to drop a little deeper through the pelvis, and then press it back. My toes aren't curled under yet. They're going to. Right now, we're just kind of keeping this a bit shorter of a lever length, keeping the knees down. And press. Give me one more. And press. Pull the hips back. curl the toes, pouncing cat from the knees or the hands. So up into your plank and back and forth you go. If you want to add a little extra bang, as you come forward over your wrist, you can add a little jump. Press and jump. You don't have to choose that. It's an option. Let's go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now stay in your long plank. Drive one knee in, and as you drive it in, round your spine, and then send that leg to the sky. We're going to go back and forth here. In and out. Pull it forward over the shoulders and then drive the leg back. You can be on your knees here, guys. Now I'm going to stay with this leg driving. Open into arabesque and then bend that back knee that's in the air for a little attitude. Drop your shoulders down, a little twisty here. Now pull yourself all the way back to center. Take that leg in the air, drive it all the way forward. All the way forward. Drop down that knee, bring that chest up. Yeah, so we're going to find a little strength here. So make sure that knee and that ankle are in line. My back leg, I'm going to be changing anyway. So curl the toes. Curl the toes under. Lift up and then press forward. Yes. Now we're just going to push away from the floor here a little bit and add a little bit of arms. So you can go as deep as you want. Try to push that front leg to straight. So take your time to get that front leg going to straight, which is actually quite hard on the balance component. So let's go 3 more, especially without something to hold on to. You've got your rollers there, so if you need them, use them. Hold here, hold here. I tapped you in the sternum bone. Bring your back leg in a bit and come up into more of a lunge. Down and up. Pull from the sky. Let's go 4, both arms pulling. 3, if you need a roller for balance, please go ahead. 2. Now lower that knee, uncurl, sneak the hip forward, and let's just move back and forth into the hip. And then once that hip feels ready for a good stretch, stay in there, press into your hands, lift your heart. One arm, both arms. Maybe you can grab that foot, maybe you can grab it with both hands. Roll that chest open. Couple inhales, exhales, vision is up. If you're holding the leg, gently let it go. Push your hip out slightly of the stretch. Take that leg off to the side, a little bit of gecko. Bring the hands down. And again, just decide, where's your hip going? This is where my front hip is at, so I'm staying on my hands. If you're okay, down you go. Inhale, exhale. See where that flexion in the hip will go. So you've got extension in the back hip and deep flexion in the front hip. So just kind of play around. Now when you're good, go to gecko. Push open on that knee. Rotate open to the sky. Cycle that breath a little bit. And then both hands back to the center. Sneak that leg all the way around. Pull it in tight. And just fold yourself into your child's pose for a moment because we're going to go right back into that pouncing cat. So relax off your wrists. Remember, your pouncing cat can be from the knees. Wiggle those fingers. If you need to stretch them right out, you can actually get them underneath you and get some good stretch in the wrists if that's a little bit tight as you're getting into these patterns. And then find your hands too far forward, curl the toes, and up we come. So just start with that pouncing cat to start with. And then we're going to drive the opposite knee in. So when you're ready, you're going to drive the knee in and kick it out. Pull it in, kick it out. Let's go 4. Zipper up those abs. And 3. I am slipping on my mat today. And 2. Now on this one, we're going to drive that knee forward and leave it forward, right? Drive it through. Drop the knee just initially. And then get that nice line of the knee and the hip. Lean forward so your weight is here. And then up comes that back knee. So we're in this deep flexion. And then we're going forward and backwards into the knee and the hip. The spine is neutral. When you're ready, you can reach and push. Again, trying to straighten out that front leg and then being up on the back ball of foot is actually a very good challenge in the balance component. 4 more. And 3. Last 2. And 1. Stay forward in that knee. Bring your back leg in a little bit. I tapped you. You're tall. Down to the earth and up. Down to the earth and up. Let's go for 4. And 3. Get as deep as you can. And 2. Now hold it in the down, let that leg go down carefully, uncurl your toe. You might need to move the front leg forward and just push in and out of that hip. So right now I'm tracking quite parallel, and I'm just trying to pay attention to that hip in the back. When you're ready, stay in that position, hands on the quads, lift the heart, one hand, both hands, or lean forward, grab that foot, fall over to the side. Balance obviously isn't my gift this morning. Open that chest. Inhale, exhale. Really try and roll your shoulders open. Chest is open. One more big breath here. And then gently release out. Come out of your hip. Move that front leg off into lateral rotation. And then come back down into that gecko. So just decide, how far down can you go? Maybe you're staying on the hands. Maybe you're going to the elbows. Me old body is staying on the hands today. Give a little movement from left to right. Inhale, exhale. And then when you're ready, add that rotational stretch. Peek to the sky, open that shoulder. I like to push on this hip that I'm holding, my knee here. I push that out. And the sole of my foot is shining up, so I'm getting an extra stretch. Bring both hands down, push your hips back, cycle that leg all the way around, and then find your 4-point stance again. So we're just going to do a little bit here in, alternating cat, but I'm going to start with just an arm handshake. So watch you don't pop your shoulder. Just think that nice little handshake, and then place it back down without shifting, and then the other handshakes, and place it back down. Now focus on the lower half. Just slide your leg out, leave your foot down. Find your leg perfectly straight, squeeze that butt cheek, and now extend the hip up. So it's nice and long. And then let that coast in. Let's do the other leg. So the idea here is to really make sure that leg that's reaching out goes straight so you can fire your glute, and then it lifts. And then we're coming down. Now we're going to add the two together. One arm, opposite leg. Exhale, reach it out. Inhale, keep it. Exhale, bring it back down. So turning on Miss America sash, reach. We're going to hold and bring it down. So imagine from your pec line to your external oblique, to your internal oblique, to your inner thigh, going across the body, crisscross, is connecting as we do this. And we're just floating from left to right. And bring it down. So one more time. Exhale, reach it out. Hold this reach. Hold this reach. Lower the leg and the arm and lift it. Lower and lift. Let's go for 4. Watch that as you lift the leg, you don't lose your neutral spine or neutral pelvis. And as you lift the arm, you're not popping that shoulder or losing your rib into the sternum bone. Bring that all the way back down. Make sure you're pushing away. And then reach one arm, opposite leg, lift and lower. Really think of that Miss America sash. So the hand that's down, that pec, that external oblique, the internal oblique, and the inner thigh on the non-moving leg. Let's go 3 more. And 2. And 1. Bring both legs down and just hinge back to whatever child pose feels good for you this time. Inhale, exhale that a little bit. And then press into your hands, curl your toes under, and sink back. From here, I've widened out my legs. So instead of being my 4-point stance narrow, I've widened out. And those hips should feel much more open. Let's get a little bit of spinning. Right, so we're just spinning from left to right, opening that up. Take a nice breath here. Press it to tall. Slowly drag your spine up. Wiggle it, and then we're just going to come to the front of our mats. So find that nice passive position, and we're just going to sit down, stand up, but we're not actually going to roll. So just come right down, sink your booty down, test how deep you can get here, and then press and come up. So it's at a gorilla. We're rounding the spine. So you're going to round, tuck your tailbone under, sink into your hips, and then slowly come up. Your heels might have to lift, not a big deal. On this one, we're going to do a little roll. If you don't like it, just go ahead and sit down. Otherwise, I'm here. I'm going to roll, but I'm going to come right back up to my booty. Yep. So keep your heels together, your toes apart. Diamond roll back. Grab behind your knees. Take an inhale. Be at the front of your mat. If you need a headrest, you can have it close. Exhale. Scoop through the abdominals. Hollow them out. Inhale. Come around the corner. Give a little pull here. Move through those hips a little bit. Pull the body forward. And then start at the tailbone and peel to tall. Exhale and scoop. So lumbar spine, all the spine is deep flexion. And then as you come forward on this one, the lumbar spine to the sacrum are vertical to the earth, and you're pulling your thoracic forward. So imagine I'm pulling your hips back. And then stack to tall. We're going to do one last one. We're going to wrap the arms through the legs. So roll it back. Come around the corner. If you can get your hands between and grab those feet, go ahead. If you feel you want to pull your legs in a little closer here, do so. From here, we're going to find those really big breaths into our back, drop our shoulders away from our ears, and give a little no on the neckline. And then peel to tall. So we're going to go into rolling like a ball from here. The legs are reaching out. They're going to be laterally rotated. The heels don't have to be together, right? And then I'm going to scoop off my sits bones, drag my feet up at the same time, and just wrap my arms around the outside of my legs and hold. And then I'm going to reach it back out. When I reach back out, I'm going to sneak my hands behind and see if I can lift my chest a little bit. Open that up. And then I'm going to scoop and round. Try and grab equally on the legs as you find your nice rounded position. And then one more time, hands go behind. We're just going to lift that heart, open it up. And then the last one, we're going to scoop, keep the round, and let's roll like a ball. Tailbone to sky, and then find your balance point. Let's do 3 more. Inhale up, exhale back. So the distance from heels to butt, knees to shoulders is consistent. Don't throw your head back. Go 2 more. And on this last one, we are going to sit back up. So sit back up, reach those legs out, and just shoot your booty more into the middle of your mat. If you are having a hard time sitting tall today and finding that back in neutral, I need you to prop up or bend the knees. Otherwise, arms reach out, and we're going to do 2 spine twists and then our saw. Inhale, rotate. Inhale, rotate a bit more. Watch your front leg isn't moving. Inhale, rotate. They're both front. Watch your front leg to the direction you're turning isn't moving. Exhale, bring it center. Let's go again. Inhale, rotate, switching directions. Rotate, sit tall, rotate. Bring it to center. This one's saw. So just kind of put your thumbs up with your hands open. Rotate as far as you can. Turn your thumb upside down in the back leg. Imagine a pole and I poked you in the ribs and you're sawing down. And then that back arm is lifting up into shoulder extension. And then stack back up and turn that palm so thumbs are up again. And then bring it to center. So quite a bit of stretch happening there. Inhale, rotate, back thumb down. Exhale, saw. Inhale, grow to tall, thumbs are up. Exhale, center. One more time. Rotate, thumb goes down. Saw. Bring it back up to tall. Bring it to center. And the other direction. Rotate and saw. Stack to tall. Back to center. So I'm going to use my elbows on this one. This one can be done by the hands. I'm going to show it elbows first. Bring your legs into parallel and then a little turnout. So bring them together with a bit of a turnout. Scoot back and get your elbows into place. And now lengthen out your spine. So instead of being scooped, lift your chest. So this is front control. We're going to try and take our feet and turn them so that they can somewhat touch. Now, that's not going to happen for everybody. If they only touch part way or they don't even get to the ground, don't fight it, right? We're just looking that when we go to the up position, they can turn out. So now I'm going to take my hips and lift them off the floor and then bring them back down. You got to get your elbows right underneath you. Exhale, press and lift. Inhale, bring it down. Now you might find it more comfortable from the hands. The hands is easier in the upper torso position, but it is harder in the lower, but give it a go. My fingers are pointing towards my ass. Exhale, lift, get those hips right up, feel that posterior line. Exhale, lower. And again, it's not a scoop to come up, it's a hinge. So I push and I hinge. Now stay here and see if you can lift one leg just off. Hold it for 5, 4, it's a tough one. 3, keep those hips up. 2, 1, put that leg down, release down. We're going to do it one more time. Take an inhale, exhale, press, and now lift up the other leg. Watch the bum's not sinking, right? You want to get that butt up there. 5, 4, 3, 2, foot goes down, and down we go. Go ahead and just kind of slap those arms out and just sort of do a bum lift. I'm just going from left to right butt cheek. So my QLs are working, yet stretching. as I lengthen them down. So I'm literally just rocking from left to right. Bring your booty a little closer to the front of your mat, grab behind your legs, and let's just scoop as we roll it down. Now, if you're needing a headrest, mine's too far away, I'm not going to worry about it. Go ahead and put it underneath your head. Find yourself in a slightly supported spine. Knee fold one leg, knee fold the other. We're going to our toe taps. You know, if you're comfortable with it, arms can go up or arms overhead, but don't pop your ribs. And then let's just start with that nice gentle toe tap. If you're not hitting the floor, don't worry about it. Your focus is to not move your rib from your hip. So there's no movement in the pelvis. If your back is fine with doing this in a neutral spine with that small unsquished grape, go ahead. If you feel that that's too much compression on the back, keep a supported spine. When you're ready, you can start stretching that leg out as an option. And if it's still working for you, you can scissor the legs. So when the legs are in scissor, they're heavier, it's harder. Let's go 4 more. And 3. Last 2. Now, if it's not even on this one, finish one last one. Either keep the legs reaching straight or bend the knees and sweep your arms around and roll up. So I'm in a roll up. Now I'm going to reach towards my feet, but I'm going to cross. So I'm crisscrossing to the opposite side. Press and press. So one hand comes down, one hand reaches to the opposite leg, and we rotate. Let's go 5 and 4. Find your crisscross. Legs are either straight or bent. Last 3. Chin is tucked. 2 and 1. Come back to neutral. Roll that down, bend the knees, and just go ahead and invite a windshield washer here. So take the windshield washer one step forward or one step farther and try and get that knee coming towards the floor. Now, it may not get there, obviously, but the idea is to get that full 90-90 happening through the hips. So when you get sunk to one side, spend a moment trying to stretch out that front line. It'll get a little bit into the side too, because you are having some rotation happening in your spine. Bring it back to center, and we're going to do our toe taps, but in doubles. If it's invited. If it's not invited, stay with singles. Give me supported or neutral. Decide kind of where you feel good and strong. Knee fold one, knee fold the other. And then the arms can reach or go above the head again. And I'm going to go down, 2, 3, 4, and up. 2. It's deathly slow. Working for you. The legs go straight. 2, 3. Connect those abs and in. 2. Still working for you. It's from scissor. Down, 2, 3, 4, and up. 2, 3. 2 more. Down, 2, 3, 4, and up. Last one. Keep it strong. Down, 2, 3, 4, and up. 2, 3. Now find either neutral or supported. Bend the knees to 90. Sweep your arms around by your legs. Actively reach, and we're going to hundreds. Cervical nod and roll it up. So I can go hundreds, legs bent or straight. Here we go. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 10. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 12. 12. That was 20. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 30. That would take a long time. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 40. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 50. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2. Make sure you're breathing. 60. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 70. Almost there. 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 80. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 90. Last one, guys. 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 100. Grab those legs and roll it down. Again, slide into that windshield washer just gently. And they're going to go right into our shoulder bridge, but we're going to do the articulations first, so hip rolls. And then we'll move into a bit more of a shoulder bridge. So feet nice and strong. They are sits bones difference apart. Arms reaching or over the head. Actually, I'm going to start with flies. So let's take the arms in and out just from the sides. We're just going to do sides. If you have weights and you want to use them, go right ahead. So from here, as I roll up, I'm going to sweep my arms open. I'm going to look down my body, try and make sure the hip, rib is square. My inner thighs aren't going out. I'm pretending I'm squeezing a ball. And I'm going to peel it back down all the way out. If you have a headrest now, you need to move it out of the way. Scoop as you come up and the arms open. And then scoop as you roll down and the arms come up. The arms go down as your torso lifts. and then it reverses. So we're going to stay in the up and go more to a bridge versus an articulation. So press it up, keep the arms in the air this time. We're going to open the arms and open the legs, butterflies. Lower the bum, squeeze the inner thighs, bring them together. So I like to move my legs out a little farther on this one. So from each other, not from my bum, so that when I bring my legs together, I can get a little inner thigh work, but I'm also getting a little internal rotation of my hip. We're hinging this. Let's go 4 more. Butterfly those hips. And 3. Squeeze that booty. Last 2. And on the last one, we're going to stay in the up. Squeeze those knees together and pulse the booty up. 5, 4. Squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Spiral to neutral. Peel it down. Go ahead and just release it out. Stretch out one leg. Grab the other leg behind the knee and pull it in. And then slowly straighten that up a little bit for a hamstring stretch. Don't overstretch here because we're not done the hammies. Just give them a little release and then fold it back down. And then bring the other leg. Start at the knee and then extend it up. If that bothers your back leg, bend your back leg as well. Especially the back. You got to watch the back as that leg is extended out. If you're tight, it'll pull. And then let's bring those feet back down. So we're going to bridge up again and we're going to start some marching. So let's go ahead and bridge up. Look down your body, your chin is tucked, but your head is down, and just lift both heels and lower both heels. So we're trying to keep ourselves neutral spine, neutral pelvis. I find if my back is a bit miffy on any given day, I drop like 1/3 of an inch and then I tuck my tailbone a bit more into supported, and it just feels better for me. So go ahead and play with that. Arms reaching will be harder. Now this time, keep your heels down or both up. Both up is going to be harder and more unbalanced, right? And that's knee fold one leg up and bring it down carefully, knee fold the other. So if I'm up on the ball of my foot, I am adding calf work to this as well as ankle stabilization, and it lifts me the size of my foot that much higher into the air, which makes me more unstable. So definitely an option. Don't have to choose it. You can have your heel down. One more time, try not to shift your pelvis. Now go ahead and leave one leg up there, stretch it to the sky. Arms are going to reach to the leg and then everything's going to reach away. So it comes in and it goes out. Same thing, I can be on my heel or my whole foot or on the ball of foot. Let's go 4 more and 4. Squeeze that booty, lift those hips up. 3. If this is difficult, my moving leg knee can be bent. 2. And 1. Now leave that leg reaching beside your other quad and pulse your booty up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both feet down and roll it down just for a little reset. Roll it side to side, whatever feels good. We're going to get a full twist after this second set on the opposite leg. So we will get that rotational stretch. Bring your heels in close to your bum. Come up on the ball of foot again if you're choosing that. And then press yourself up into your bridge. Again, supported or neutral pelvis. And then up comes the other leg, extend it. Start that movement of down and up. And it's working, the arms go in coordination, oh my God, with the legs, which means everything opens and everything comes up. Realize that that's a massive stretch in your hip flexor and your lower back. So be careful if you're miffy there at all. Let's go 2 more, squeeze that booty. And on the last one, we're going to stay lifted and then reach that leg to the quad, pulse your bum. 8, 7, 6, 5. Good squeeze. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the foot, bring that down. So the first stretch we'll get is 4. Turn into your 4 stretch, and you can pull it in tighter, or you can just hold here, or you can add a little bit of movement of side to side if you want. I quite like hitting my 4 and then going side to side so I get some rotation. We are going to get a bigger rotation anyways. Inhale, exhale as you go. Push into that knee, get that hip opening up. And then when you're good, that bottom leg, the one that's on the floor, if it's not on the floor, put it on the floor. You're going to grab it with your opposite hand and tuck it into your bum, the foot into my bum. And that's going to drop this knee down to the floor. And then I'm going to work at just opening up that top knee, open and close. So this is my very restricted side. And you're not seeing a lot of movement. It's very subtle. So I'm just trying to open that hip in this kind of pencil-y position. Your back will have quite a large arch in it, so it is stretching out that back. And then slowly unpretzel that. Go ahead and cross your other knee. Push into that initially. If it feels good, you can pull it in a little tighter, whatever's working for you. Cycle your breath here a little bit, maybe roll the ankles, spin them out while they're relaxing. To increase this or to switch this, we're going to put that foot down. You're going to grab that foot that's on the floor with the opposite hand, fold it into your bum, and then take your top leg and just open and close it. And this gets into your side pockets. This gets into our TFL a little bit. Again, it's going to get into the back. I've got a fair amount of space happening underneath my back. That's perfectly fine. If it's really uncomfortable for the back, you can prop yourself up on your elbows, right? And that'll take the back equation out. You can just hold it more neutral versus extended. And then just slowly unpretzel that, and let's get a full twist here. So straighten out one leg, opposite knee into your hand, over it goes. Nice full twist. Try to relax your bottom butt cheek. If it feels good, you can straighten out that top leg. You might need a band here to do it. And then rotate into that spine. Try and relax your glutes. Look the opposite direction of the leg that you've rotated. Breathe into that. Let that come all the way back. And then reset. Other knee comes up. Hand on the opposite side. Over you go. If that's feeling good and your back wants a little bit more, as well as a bit more hamstring stretch, you can straighten out that leg a little bit. And then you're rotating away from that foot. We're going to increase that inhale, exhale, just to activate that stretch a little bit more. And then slowly let that come all the way back and around. And we're going to get some side laterals. So reach that arm long above your head, roll right onto the corner of your mat. So from here, you've got your 90-degree on the floor, anchored, reaching, or lifted. Top hand can be down or up. We're going to lift and lower that top hip. The knee, the hip, the ankle are facing the side of the room, not facing the sky, right? So we're trying to get our glute me, glute min here, and we're just going to lift lower. Actively reach your bottom leg, whatever you're choosing to do there. Now give me the circle, side leg lift series 2. So we're forming those circles. Your body's between two planes of glass. You're trying not to rock back and forth. And your breath is just natural. Go ahead and switch directions. As long as you're breathing, don't get stuck at where the breath is happening. Now we're going to do stagger. We're going to lift the top leg, lift the bottom leg to greet. Watch you're not sickling your ankles to get there, and lower both. Lift, lift, lower. Now if this is hard on your greater trochanter, that bone that's pushing into the floor, your hip, you can put a little pad underneath that. Lift, lift, lower. 2 more. Lift, lift, lower. Last one, and then we're going to do a set of doubles. Both are lifting. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to go side kick series. Instead of lift, we're going to anchor that foot. Once that's anchored, this hand is going to tuck underneath. This leg, top leg is actively reaching. I'm going to lift my rib cage. Lift, lower, lift, lower. So let's get the rib cage active first. Push into your elbow a little bit, causing space underneath you, and then bring it down. And then lift and lower. Now keep it in the lift. And then lower it down, and let's add the kick. So we're going to go 1, 2 with a flex, point the toe, lift as you kick back and extend the hip. So it's flexion of the hip, and then point the foot, extension of the hip. As you lift into lateral, lift the lateral off. Let's go. Inhale, inhale, point, and exhale, lift. 2 more. Inhale, inhale, point, and lift. And give me 1 more. Inhale, inhale. Hold it, reaching back there. Hold your lift for 5, 4. Get some air time underneath those ribs. 3, 2, and 1, and melt that down. Beautiful. So you can either start with your knees bent here, or the legs are long and reaching. We're going to roll up into our side sit-up for teaser. So again, you can decide. I'll start modified, right? If you know full one, go ahead. So I'm going to scoop. I'm going to roll. I'm going to find my hold. Yep. And then I'm going to come all the way back. Beautiful. If you want to do long, your legs are reaching. Most of you guys are already there. So I'm going to squeeze. I'm going to reach to add a little bit here. My arms come by my ears. And this arm reaches back. This arm stays up there as I control to come back down. We're going to scoop, squeeze your thighs together. Inhale, reach, knees can be bent. And then exhale, bring it all the way back. We're going to do just one more, you guys. Scoop off your sit bone, squeeze those thighs together, find your balance point, reach, take your hands by your headline. We're going to go into our mermaid. Drop your elbow and come into your mermaid. Take the time to wiggle into that space. Drop your hip and take a moment just to find this. If this is difficult, you can sit up on a prop, right? Rotate. Hands to the floor or small of the back or reaching. So I'm going to come down, that back leg is going to lift, and then I'm going to come up. If that feels good. So all my weight basically is in my back hand, right? So now I can tuck that hand behind. Keep your spine lengthened here. It's not going to be extended, but it definitely can be lengthened. If you have it in you, I don't. If you have it in you to keep this back leg reaching long, go ahead. Mine's staying bent. It's getting into my hips a little too much. Let's go 3 more, but if you've got it, please go there. Last one, hold it halfway down. Pull that heel right into your tush. Sink back into it. Laterally flex the opposite direction. Nice. And then give me a little rotation. Back to lateral, come all the way out. We're going to swing those legs all the way through to the other side. Find yourself right along the edge of your mat and lie it long. So we're starting with our side leg lift series, right? So you can anchor out, holding right on that greater trochanter. I'm going to lift and lower. If you can, that top hand comes off, up and down. Beautiful. So my bottom leg is flirting off. If I have it anchored down, I can push into it for stability. If you're able to, you're just going to lift a little bit. Let's go to that circle pattern, side leg lift series 2. If you have your ability to kind of take this hand off and just quickly put it on rib hip, you should notice that nothing's happening in the pelvis. It's staying nice and neutral. And then when you're ready, you're going to circle the other direction. Try to remember to get the leg circling behind you as well as in front. In front's a little more forgiving for most of us. And then we're going to go our stagger. Lift, lift, lower, lift, lift, lower. Inhale, inhale, exhale as I roll back on my butt cheek. And now squeeze both together and lift. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then we're going to go into that teaser. I'll show you the modified. Oh, no, we're not. We're going to anchor the foot. Get that foot anchored. Get this hand nice and long. And just go ahead and lift and lower the rib cage. Side kick series. 3, because we've got the elbow in position. Lift and lower. Pull those ribs off. So when you're in this position on the floor, this is in lateral flexion. I'm trying to lift so I'm a bit more neutral. Press. Now leave that rib down. 2 kicks forward, 1 kick back as you lift. So I'm going to go inhale, inhale, exhale. Tendency here is for the spine to flex as you kick the leg forward and extend as you kick it back. And again, my job is to keep it as neutral as I can and just move that hip in the socket. Go 2 more. Give me 1 more. Now keep that leg reaching behind you and hold your rib cage up so I've got that space. Hold 5, 4, 3, 2, and release it down. So again, if you're going to the modified, the knees are bent, the arm is out. We're going to our side sit-up teaser, and I'm going to roll up. My first variation is just a partial roll. Nice, good, strong hold here, and then coming back down. Keep the knees bent, or out they go, and then scoop. Float all the way up, squeeze that, bring the arms, ears close together, and then reach and roll it right back on to side lateral. Yes. Exhale, scoop. So the first movement is your top rib hip coming together, and then the bottom rib hip join the party. So we kind of lengthen out. So my first movement is tucking this top rib hip, and that'll cause me to fall off my body and lean backwards, which basically is the exact opposite of what you're doing when you're doing side laterals. Side laterals, you're keeping equal pressure. Give me one last one. Hold it here. We're going to go into our mermaid. Slide your hands down and sneak into that mermaid. Perfect. Try and rest that hip So you can sink it. From there, hand goes behind. We rotate the spine. This hand comes down. And I'm just going to start with that nice little push up here. Feels good. I'll activate the back hip. Still okay, the hand behind my back. Still okay, the arm reaching. Still okay, stretch out your bottom leg. Or the top leg, I guess it would be. Choose where you want to go. Nice, you guys. Yes. Let's go 4 and 3. Lift that heart. Get an extension for me when you come up. 2. Think lengthened when you go down, but lifted when you come up. And then freeze in the up. Tuck that foot in closer. Sink your hip back down. And give me that lateral. Once you've settled into your hips, you got to settle into your hips first. And then rotational. Back to the side lateral. And then we're coming all the way out. We're going to get a little bit of extension work. So go ahead all the way onto your bellies. Find your legs in lateral rotation and just go ahead and coast that booty from left to right. Let your tummy go. So we're just going to do a few floppies before we get into a connected swan. Hands just by the side of your body. Relax your glutes, relax your abs, and just come up feeling that movement through your spine. Butt will clench when your body goes into protection mode. Come down a little bit, relax off the butt, and see if you can come back up without clenching the glute. And then bring it down. So we are relaxed here. You do have a little lateral rotation going on in the hips, though, especially if you're able to come a little higher. And then let's go ahead and connect. So good lateral rotation, hands strong. Pull the abs in, maybe a small squeeze of the glutes. Now lengthen up into a little bit more powerful pose. Yeah, swan. Swan. And bring it down. Inhale. Exhale. Push the marbles, shoulders into your back pockets. Nice strong inhale here. We're going to do swan 3. Come back down. So I'm going to come up all the way and then only come down part way. And as I start to come down, I'm going to squeeze one butt cheek and lift that leg. And then I come all the way up to my full and then down nice and slow. Push one leg into the floor while the other leg reaches in opposition. We're going to do it one more time on each side and press. If your arms feel like they're getting farther away, tuck them back in closer to give you more support if you need it. And then squeeze. Finish with your full swan and lengthen that spine down. Beautiful. Give a little booty wiggle. And we're going to go into double leg kick. So your hands are going to interlace behind the back and rest. Not an option. Just place your hands on the side of your booty and rest. Your legs are in more so parallel, small lateral rotation. Abs are pulled in. We're going to kick our bum for 3. 1, 2, 3. As the legs reach away, the arms reach away. You can be linked and then stretch into that long position. Don't push your belly into the floor. Lift it. Rotate your chin and 1, 2, 3. Exhale, reach. Rotate the chin. Look the other side of the room. Pump. 2, 3. Exhale, open. Pull the hands in and pump. 2, 3. Exhale, open. And release your arms and back forward. If you need a child's pose here, go ahead. If it feels good just to rock back and forth, go ahead. Whatever little recovery your body's calling for. And then we're going to do a little set of swimmer. And then we are going to grab our rollers and do some release work. Kylie, when you came on, you missed when I said grab a roller. Do you have a roller close by? You don't need it right away. We're going to do swimmer first. It's just to do release work. Because all of us kind of took a vote in that we're tired and we're stiff. So the last 10 minutes or 5 minutes kind of thing are roll and release. Bring it all the way back to the bellies. Pull the abs in. We're in neutral spine, neutral pelvis, but we're going to extend through thoracic. So for me, I find if I use my hands to lift to my extension, and then I come down and I let go with my hand position, I can find a better active reach. Then I'm going to lift the legs just a little, reach the arms. Now, if reaching the arms here is just too heavy, keep your hands by your sides. Put one hand and one leg down, and we're just going to alternate those. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale. If you don't need to touch, keep it off. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, stretch the legs. Glutes are very active. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Opposite arm to leg, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3. Last one. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, reach. And release. Push all the way back into your child's pose or an extended position, whatever feels more natural for you. Once that feels a little more released out, hands into position. If you need to stay there longer, do so, please. My mat's all crooked. We're going to lift into that little down dog because those hammies and calves work in that extension work. So we want to open them up a little bit. It's not just the back extensors, it's that whole posterior line. I'm wiggling my tailbone from left to right. Then I'm going to bring myself out of the shoulders. I'm going to paw at my feet. So you decide where you need to go here. Then we're slowly going to walk our hands to our feet in 4, 3, let your head dangle. If ragdoll's in your practice unsupported, go ahead. I'm supporting mine. My elbows are on my quad. Look through your legs. Let your head be at the end of your top of your spine. And then slowly bring that to tall. Grab that roller. We're going to just place it in the middle of the mat. We're going to get that thoracic first. So bring yourself down to your booty and find it right across the midline of the chest, right across the pec line. I'm going to bring my feet in tight. If I've got a hoodie or anything, long hair going down, I'm going to tuck it in. And I'm just going to give those little arches. So this movement should feel much more open than it did at the start because we've done some extension already. So we're not doing it as an exercise. You're doing an arch and curl, but think more about relaxing it. Open that over and then float it in. Open it over, float it in. Now get your feet in close to your bum, lift your butt, and just roll right up towards the neck, but not on C7. So if you felt that little bony protrusion that sticks out super far, that's C7 in the neckline. We don't roll on that. We come up to the thoracic and then back down. You'll notice that your roller starts to move down your mat. Every once in a while you have to stop and pull it in a bit. That's fine. And then go ahead and have the roller in line with your nipple line. So if you kind of took the roller and you came across the chest, it's right with nipple line. I'm going to drop this knee open and I'm going to go right over into my armpit area. It's not actually in my armpit, it's just below it. And then all the way back. So you're going to get a little bit of where subscap kind of tucks underneath the armpit there. You're going to get into that a little bit. This can be really quite ugly. And you're also going to get the lateral line, a little teres minor and major happening. And then we're just going to stay in the side here. This one's a tough one. If you're really tight, you're probably just going to stay here and just find your little treasure and do a choo-choo on it. So I'm just going to kind of move back and forth till I've found my treasures. It might be way up here. So as long as my elbow's open, I can actually get right as I fall over the place. I'm right here in this area. I'm not down through my armpit. I'm back here that I'm running as I do this. If I'm able to, I'm going to not really lift, my butt's lifted, but my knees and my feet are giving me support. I'm going to run that roller along that whole lateral line. This can be really ugly, so be careful with it. And if you feel kind of a knot happening, so I'm leaning back onto my shoulder blade a little bit because I feel that's where I've got a knot. So you just move around to find your own treasures. I can give you a guideline and then you just got to play, right? I got some good shizzle going on there. And then go ahead and find yourself kind of sorting yourself out in the middle again. And then you're going to roll to the other side. So I like to start this just with that forward backwards roll position just to figure out where things are at. Left and right are quite different. Again, you're not rolling through your armpit. You're close to it, but you're not right on it. And then I'm going to start that little choo-choo action. And then as I go to that choo-choo, if I've got some treasures, I'm just going to stay on them and dig a bit. Maybe it has me rolling open a bit more. Maybe it has me more on my side. Again, guideline, and then you guys can play. Open that up. See if you can go right along that whole lateral line. Ooh. I don't know about anyone else, but I got lots going on in there today. And then when we're good, we're going to switch that roller to our bottom end. So bring it in and then go ahead and pop yourself up. Hands are back. We're going to work ourselves down to our shoulders, but we're going to start up here. Find your 4 stretch and then rotate your knee open to the roller. So the leg that's crossed, that's the side you're rotating to. And then you're going to wiggle around on the biggest part of your butt, the big part of the belly of the butt. Yeah. Breathe as you go. Now for me, I end up being higher where my glutes actually, tighter where my glutes attach. So I'm going to drop this knee down, but I'm going to open it still and drop down to my elbow. And then I'm going to come a little higher with the roller. It's still not in QL. And now I'm going to go left and right. So I'm going to roll right over onto the side and all the way back. So now I'm running those connections of the glutes. And I'm just going to go back and forth. That leg is reaching out. You can put your whole body weight into it. So that back leg for me, the top leg I'm lifting off so the whole weight goes in there. If you know TFL's a little tight, maybe I stay here right on the side and I move that roller down my leg ever so slightly, and you find right where TFL attaches in. That can be super ugly. So be very careful with it. Press that around a little bit. And then awkward, but come back up into your tall sit as best you can. And then let's go to the other side. So cross it first. So if your hips are tight, this in itself is going to be a stretch. If I want to get deeper, I just kind of let my bum drop down. Once I have that, I'm going to drop my knee off to the side. And I'm just doing little circles. So I'm moving my hips, my knees, my ankles kind of in a circular form as I'm pushing that roller back and forth through the big meatiest part of the glute. So if you've got lots going on here, you might end up wanting to take a small ball later, now that everything's nice and warm, or with a spiky ball and get a little dig going on there. Now, if you know it's higher glute that gets you, drop that knee, go a little deeper, and just start your side to side movement. So I'm going to roll right over to my side, just like I did in the upper body. Same thing. Right over, all the way back. And then if you know that it's that side hip that's giving you some issues, you can stay there. If it was farther to the top of the back of the glute, you can stay there, wherever you kind of need to. So I'm going quite far forward, so I'm leaning right forward on this side, getting right into that hip area. And just kind of move around and see where your tension's lying. And then bring that booty all the way down. So one last little hip stretch. You're just going to lift up, and now that roller is, and I'm not weight bearing, I'm not taking my feet off here, but the roller is in the small of my back. So my belly button is in line with kind of where the roller is. My feet are staying strong, and all I'm doing is some clocking. So I'm going to an anterior tilt. Now, if this feels great, just hang out in the anterior tilt, or pivot very gently from anterior through neutral into posterior. Just get that little release going in that lower half of the pelvis. Inhale, exhale, and then push that roller now so it's more on the sacrum, more bony. Press one leg out, feel the hip flexor stretch. Press the other leg out, feel that stretch. And just let those hips and the pubic bone are higher. So the roller is at the peak of the pubic bone, causing your hips to kind of extend over the roller. And just stretch out the front of that hip line. Couple cycles of breath there, and then drag those legs in. If you need to stay longer, do so. Lift your butt, push the roller out the other end, and go ahead and let it go all the way out. Grab behind the legs. Let's roll that up, you guys. Bring your legs all the way around, and we're just going to come back up into a little down dog, and then into our ragdoll one more time. So nice little sway from left to right. Walk your feet slowly into your hands. Bend the knees. Find your little ragdoll with your head just lengthening at the end of the spine. Couple little breaths here. Give a little no on that neck for me, guys. And then slowly peel all the way to tall. Once you're there, roll those shoulders. Little wiggle on the neck. Nice big breath as we lift the heart. Hands down center heart. Little shimmy. And then go the other direction. Reach it open, lift that heart, and we are done.